Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Grand Theft Auto 3 for part 14. It is I, King Oogmeister, once again to go ahead and bring you some gameplay. What I'm going to go ahead and do today is all of the phone missions from King Courtney on Staten Island. Now before I do that, there is one of them that requires you to have 3 gang cars, 2 of them being from Portland. The Mafia Cinnatel and the Diablo Stinger, or the Diablo Stallion, my bad. And then you need the Yakuza Stinger, which is found on Staten Island. The best way to do this, since it's so hostile in Portland, is to go ahead and clear your garage out in Staten Island. It can hold 2 vehicles. Go ahead and put the Mafia Cinnatel in there, as well as the Diablo Stinger. That way you're not going to Portland while you're doing that mission. It just makes it a whole lot simpler and easier. And when you do the mission, the cars pretty much have to be perfect whenever you deliver them to King Courtney. Now if you do wreck it, it's not really a problem as long as it's not exploded. You can just take it to a pay and spray, and then $1,000 later, it's good as new, and then you take it to the garage. So I'm just gonna go ahead, get them, save them in the garage. Even if they do get damaged, they're in the garage, they will repair themselves. Because there are a few missions I have to do for him before it gets to that. That's the third of 4 missions that he does have. So yeah. I'm going to do the 4 missions for King Courtney, kind of show you guys how to do it. The first one's not that bad. The second one isn't really either if you know what you're doing, and I'll kind of show you how I did it. And it works for me when I do it. And it might help you out. But this is for the third one. I highly recommend doing this before you start the 3rd mission for King Courtney. It's just way easier because it's so hostile in Portland. Excuse me. Man, I drank that Coke way too fast. But yeah, it's so hostile in Portland that, especially with the Mafia, because they have the shotgun, and you will be doing this mission and you'll get all the cars, and you need like 1 left, like the Mafia Cinnatel, and honestly, that's the hardest car to get out of Portland. And they'll just blow you up in 2 shots. And after doing the other 2 cars, it's kind of a pain. So this just takes that out of the picture. There's no way they're going to shoot at you once this is in Staten Island. So I know, and I honestly hate to see the Borgnine. I hate to see this taxi go, because it's a really cool car, but it can always be picked up again in Portland at a later time. So I'm gonna end up doing that later. I don't know, honestly. I really like the car because it handles well. And it drives pretty fast, and it's really durable. I just don't see myself really doing any more taxi missions. I have an ample amount of money. I'm almost at $1.5 million now. And I'm not even started really any main missions on Staten Island. I did the first one, but that was it. So I'm gonna keep getting more money through that. But just wait and see. Kind of a fun thing to do, you know, if you want to play the game and you're just bored and want to run around and drop people off. It's kind of like Crazy Taxi in another universe where you can run people over and kill them. I mean, you know, so if you're into that, yeah. But, yeah, I just don't see myself doing any more of the taxi type missions. Now, the Diablo Stallion is always found around this part, which is the Red Light District in Hepburn Heights. Around these apartment complexes they're driving around. And, you'll always know it's them because it's a stallion, like a regular stallion, but it has, I don't even know what you call it, the engine out of the hood. Some of you car enthusiasts might be able to, get that more than I can, but like with air scoops and stuff, I know that. But yeah, the engine's out of the hood, and it's got flames all over the back and side of it. It's right here. I don't know why I really like this car. It's pretty fast, and it's just really fun to drive in this game. Like, it's the sound of it. It's a muscle car. It's a true muscle car. You just get that feeling to it. It sounds good. It drives good. All around, great vehicle. Doesn't have too much health, so not very durable. But it should be able to get you out of the situation. Pretty agile. Honestly, probably, maybe after taking this and doing the mission, I might get one for myself to drive around, because they're quite the fun. Now, the reason why I get these two cars, put them in the garage, because it can only hold 2 vehicles. In the mission, like I said, you have to get 3 gang cars. This one and the Mafia Sinitel are on Portland. I'd rather have them in my garage and drop them off and get the Yakuza Stinger, which is on the same island, which Staten Island. It does not make sense to get the Yakuza Stinger and put it in the garage. It's so easy to find. Honestly, I get it before I start the mission. Where that A is, at Aruka or whatever, Asuku, I don't completely forget her name. Go pick up the car from there before the mission, and then just drop it off at the garage, and then go to your garage and get those 2. Now, you are going to have to remember where your garage is, which shouldn't be a problem. I guess if you're kind of new to the game, it might be. But it's basically by the construction site where the road V's off, and you'll see a little part on the map where it goes into an alley.
This is King Courtney. Me yachty posse could do with them rude boy driver, and people is saying you demand. Get to the waste ground opposite the stadium in a car and wait for the other hopefuls. I've got been watching checkpoints all over Stockton. First driver to a checkpoint gets the bling bling. Then it's on to the next stop. If you get more checkpoints than any other driver, I can have me a little work for you.
Honestly, I think it's really funny how King Courtney and even his like subtitles don't even match up. Maybe they're just like, yeah, we don't know what he's meaning. But it's funny, like, some of the words that they use, and even in the subtitles, is completely different. Like, maybe that's what they're meaning by what they're saying. I don't know. Like, if you understand it better than I do, more power to you, but let me know. Because I'm lost. I just listen to what he says, and it makes sense enough to me. Maybe it's a Jamaican thing. I don't know, man. So, you're basically doing a checkpoint race, but it's not a race. By checkpoint race, you are going checkpoint to checkpoint, so whenever someone hits the checkpoint, it creates a new one. And there's a total of, I think, 14 or 15 of them. But yeah, it's really not too bad. I would have liked to got a faster vehicle, but you don't need one, and I'm about to show you guys. All you really have to do is collect the most out of 4 people. That's all. So if you get half of them, you're pretty much guaranteed to win. It's just the more that you get, the more you get paid. It's $1,000 per checkpoint. If you couldn't understand that by how they were talking, it is $1,000 per checkpoint. So yeah, there's 15 of them. So if you get all 15, $15,000. Which honestly, even with the fastest car, it's not easy to do unless you get to a checkpoint and you wait for all the cars to get there and then hit it. Because they just randomly generate across the map. Okay, I somehow got really lucky and got that one. So now, this is kind of a mixed match of a lot of different cars. I have this kind of like an old lady sedan, which is awesome anyways. I like this car too. Uh, and then you got a Hummer vehicle, you got a pickup truck, and then you got a really fast car. I believe that's the Cheetah. So you got like a big mix and matchup of cars. But a lot of times it's really easy to get these checkpoints. Like right there, that really souped up car was way in front of me, but he can't drive. Yeah, you can have a souped up car, but if you can't drive, it's not going to do anything for you. And I like how it kind of breaks this up into a different type of race where it's not like a follow the checkpoint, like a routed map. It's kind of like you hit a checkpoint and then, hey, we're going to tell you where the next one is. I like it, but I would rather do an ordinary checkpoint race. That's just me. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like in Portland, it was that ordinary checkpoint race. But granted, it is cool that it pays for every checkpoint you go through. So I believe you can end up repeating this mission again, just like you can with Turismo, which is the level in Portland, and to try to get a better time or whatnot. But don't be worried if you don't get all of the checkpoints. That's not what this mission is about. It's getting the most out of the total of 4 drivers that are doing it. And it makes it easy just because they randomly generate, and even the slowest car can be by, you know, a checkpoint when everybody else is closer to the one that was just hit. So I'm a little less than halfway. You can't really be half on this one. But, I mean, honestly, it's not bad if you know the map and you're just good at controlling your vehicle. You don't hit too many things. I know I say that when my vehicle looks like, you know, it's been through a minefield in some. But this one's really pretty much easy. Do faster vehicles help? Yeah, it gets you around the map faster, but if you don't know how to drive, it doesn't really work. I mean, you could do it in a taxi, honestly. Granted, did I want to find a faster vehicle? Yes, wasn't able to, but hey, you know, make do with what I got. And at a sense, it makes it more challenging too. I mean, if you know yourself and you're like, hey, I know how to drive around, I don't mess my car up, I know what I'm doing, why don't you use a car, you know, a little bit slower, challenge yourself. And if you're not so great at it, definitely get a faster car. But even at that, I recommend getting kind of in the middle car, an average car. That way you can work on your handling of a vehicle. That'll come in handy at many points in all of the series of this game. And then you'll still be able to beat that mission as well.
I need to see if you're capable of doing me dirty work. See if you're family or not, don't you know? Two of my boys will be there any second to take you for a ride. See if you're the article or a sister or something.
We're going for a little ride into Hepburn Heights. Kill me some filthy Diablo boo-boos been batting up me lady Queen Lizzie. You do the driving and the shooting and the dally and a boot. We'll make sure you don't get cold feet. Here, you'll need a piece.
vampires dance. Feel the voodoo.
Let's drive.
Alright, so for this mission, you gotta go back to Portland. If you don't know that, you might be driving around Staten Island for a while, like, where do I need to go? But yeah, Hepburn Heights is in Portland. That's where all the Diablos hang out. And what you're going to have to do is they give you an Uzi. Now, I don't know how many bullets they give you with it when they just hand you the piece, because I have that little pickup. And as you see, I have close to 1750 rounds in it. Which is way more than enough. But all you need to do is eliminate 10 Diablos. Sounds easy enough, yes. But once you start shooting at them, the gang members that are in their cars, they're going to start ramming you. And that's going to start messing with your vehicle. The cops can be there too, so you got to watch out for them. So when I do this mission, there's a certain spot that I like to be, and I'm going to show y'all where that is. Just because it eliminates a lot of that other things that can kind of hinder you. Even though they might still hinder you, it's not as bad as being on an open street.
Remember, you in this to the end, man. Hold your corner.
So you can't leave the car either. What I do is I pull in to where that little phone was, where I was doing the El Burro missions, where you can get those from. I wait for the police to leave, as well as if I see a Diablo car, I wait for them to leave. And I just start popping them from here. Now, the nice thing about this spot is that you can actually shoot people from over that wall. So where he can't get in to where I am, I can still shoot people from over that wall. If you were at the correct angle, you can shoot them. So all you need is 10. Like I said, not bad. So you just kind of sit here and play shoot the duck at the gallery. You get your 10 and you speed away. Or if you got people chasing you, there's a pay and spray that is not too far from here either. It's literally up the road and up the hill, right by Luigi's Club. Sometimes you may not need it, sometimes, yeah, you are. Whether it be the Diablos chasing you or the police, it just makes it a lot easier to go ahead and hit that pay and spray. Your car changes colors and everybody is none the wiser. So since I'm already almost there, that's why I get on the street and I go and leave.
Go now.
So I'm looking behind me, I don't have anybody following me. There's no need for me to hit that pay and spray. That's $1,000 I can go ahead and save. My vehicle's not too badly damaged, I'm not worried about it. I can easily get this back to Staten Island without having a problem. Now if it's the other way around and my vehicle is highly damaged, then yeah, just hit that pay and spray real fast. $1,000 is a lot better. That my vehicle's fixed, I don't gotta worry about somebody running into me and then my vehicle catching on fire. That way, you know, all of my time that I put into it isn't just being wasted to go back and do it again. Because those cars on the highway, don't even get me started, man. They just change lanes and they will knock you around, easily flip you over, something like that. But if this vehicle catches on fire and gets destroyed, you lose the mission. Game over. Alright, so this one is near complete. You just gotta basically drop them off right here. They'll tell you how awesome you are, even though they did nothing themselves.
Okay, you're the kind of man we like a sprint now. You're Irie, man. Real shooter.
Alright, so that is the second mission pass. I have two more. This is the one that I was telling you guys about at the beginning of the video. I'm going to go to Asuka. I think that's what her name is. I'm not going to start her mission, but I'm going to go into her apartment complex. And there is always a Yakuza Stinger that is unlocked in there. That is why I go to this location and not the casino. The casino is one of their fronts, and they're is a or not Mafia, my bad, a Yakuza Stinger over there, but it is not always unlocked. This one, though, is always unlocked.
You have a question? Dude, I called.
So this way, I go ahead, take this, go back to the phone booth, and it's going to start the mission that says I have to get 3 of these gang cars. So now that I already have this one and the other 2 are in my possession at the garage, I just get to go back and get them after I drop this off, which makes this mission so much easier than trying to go and pick all of these up. It's way less time consuming, as well as you don't have to worry about being blown up. So I recommend preparing for this mission rather than just doing it without preparing.
I want you to steal me some gang cars so we can do some naughty thing on our enemy turf. I want me a Mafia Sentinel, a Yakuza Stinger, and a Diablo Inferno so we can hit up any gang in Liberty. Drop them off at the garage in Newport and hear this. They're no use to me, all broke up now.
Yeah, just checking around, make sure nobody's around me when I whip a 180. And the nice thing too is, wow, way to jump in front of the car. Anyways, the nice thing is that this little garage point you drop them off at is very close to your garage. So it makes it even easier if you have them there. This game like set it up to where it wanted you to do that. It's like a little like nudge, like, hey, this is a lot easier if you do this. So I'm just letting you guys know that if you are playing, you're like, wow, that's one way to do it. And if you did it, went through all that trouble, you're like, why didn't I think of that? Well, I've been there, man. But yeah, so you keep going down this road right by the construction site. And it's that little turnoff on the map on the left. That's how you know it dips into that alley. And you should be familiar that, hey, this is the place that I saved the game. Now all I got to do is take both of these over there. And then that's mission complete. And then it will be on to the last one. Which personally for me, I would say that is the hardest of the King Courtney missions. And I do kind of have a way about that one too. Doesn't always work, but it should do pretty good for ya if you don't know really what's going on and you keep dying at it. And just gonna go ahead and steal a vehicle, that way I can get back to my garage faster. Don't really feel like running over there. Funny enough, I think this is the same exact vehicle that I stole to get the first one. What are the chances of that? And I kind of want to get this out of the way. I'm just gonna smash into it. Really didn't want to worry about backing into that. Yeah, so just do be careful driving these vehicles because you do need them in a good condition to get them there. Otherwise, you're going to be paying a lot of money at the pay and spray. So perfection is pretty key on this one. And that's another $10,000. So I think I got 10 on all 3 of them. That's pretty nice. The trifecta of 10,000. Alright, so for this one, I recommend you getting body armor and definitely having full health. The other thing I would recommend is having an explosive of some type, whether it be grenades or the rocket launcher. They will come very much in handy.
Now hear this. Get your little self over to Bedford Point. There's a stash in an old jalopy and it's quick smart now.
Alright, so you have a minute and a half to get to this location. That's across the map. Not too bad. But it is kind of in a hidden spot. Like the way that you have to get to the back. So I'll kind of explain that more as it gets ahead. But the reason you want to have an explosive is it just makes this a lot easier. In theory, you're going to have to blow up 4 cars. 4 vans. And that's the best way to do it. I highly advise that you don't get in a vehicle and try to, like, do a drive-by to them and explode them. It just doesn't work very well. You'll see why in a minute. But yeah, so right here you get to the building. There's going to be this little cutoff at the end on the map that doesn't show it going anywhere. This is how you get behind the building into the parking lot. And then you got to go ahead and get in the car. Now that's where one of the vans comes, so I just go to block it off. I don't know if it really even did anything, but... Alright, so that was from Catalina, who shot us at the very beginning of the game.
Come to daddy. Special delivery. Here you go. I got a present for you. Come to daddy. Come here. Come to daddy.
Alright, so there's 4 vans, and all of these guys have bombs attached to their chests. You want to shoot that one, and hopefully it's by the vehicle, it explodes. I run out this back way because they will catch up to you pretty fast. That way they don't catch up to me. I can get a different start on them. There's another entrance around this way. So while they were following you and they get lost, you have time to mess with their other things, with their other vehicles. I don't have a rocket launcher, so I'm using a grenade. I can only hit this van right here. But if you do kill them and you don't eliminate that van, another one will pop out of it, so it's important to get rid of these vans as quick as possible. So right here, I'm going to go and just shoot these guys, get them to respawn closer to their vans. Alright, so I got those 2. They were close enough. Get that guy, run back a little bit. You really want to stay away from these people, because if you're on the ground and they hit you, there's going to be another one that can get close to you and do like double damage, and you won't have time to get up, and it is a real pain. See, even just not even being... I thought I was far enough away, but I still got hit by it, and it knocks you down. And if you have 3 or 4 of them running at you, they'll just come and chain that up, and this mission will be over faster than you can blink. So it's nice that once you complete it, you go ahead and all of your wanted level is gone. That makes it a world of a difference. Granted, 2 stars isn't that bad. I could have paid and sprayed it, but I don't gotta waste money on that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is go back, save this car, and get another car since I depleted my whole stash. And then go ahead and save the game. But yeah, that is the King Courtney missions, all 4 of them on Staten Island. Kind of a little bit of a walkthrough as well, how I would play it, how I played it, and what I've learned through playing it. So if you're kind of struggling, I hope you can take some of those pointers into mind. Because especially that last one, it is not the easiest of missions. It's really a pain. But it is manageable if you know what you're doing. go ahead, get my weapons and body armor, and look for another vehicle as well. I like to have 2 of them if I can. I mean, if it has 2 in there, why not? That way, if I use one to go to a mission and I lose it, that other one is still there. I kind of like this Landstalker. I'm going to keep it. I was going to get another vehicle, but I kind of like it. I'm going to keep it. Alright, well, we are getting near the end of the video. I do want to thank you guys for watching and for the support as well. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like at the bottom, as well as subscribe to the channel. That way you can go ahead and keep up with newly posted content. There will be one in another day as well. So thank you guys so much. And as always, until next time, peace.